I just like us to be constantly moving up, pivoting with the lead singer.
James Foley I knew from House of Cards. He directed the most episodes of the first season of House of Cards and was like our show director / showrunner.
He's incredibly experienced, and he has a very impressive roster of great films under him. And we met and we just hit it off.
And when we found out that he had interest to do 50 Shades Darker, he came in and met with Mike and I initially, and his take and his thoughts on the film were fantastic.
And action! I hadn't read the books, but I was certainly familiar with them, like the rest of the world. And I followed the first movie in terms of the phenomenon of how successful it was. But it was only when the studio was asking if I was interested that I really focused on it and read all 3 books, actually, and found something really meaty and psychological that I liked about them, so I jumped on board. Nice, cut. That was a great one. Great. Next. You know, I've always been interested in doing movies, dramas that have a psychological complexity to them. And what I got from the 3 books was that it was kind of a master study in the psychology, particularly of Christian, but also of Anna. And there was something interesting in the journey that they took together and how each of their psychologies interacted with each other and wound up changing each of them over the course of the 3 books quite dramatically. So it was that evolution which really was the most important thing to me.
No rules, no punishments, and no more secrets.
I can do that.
It would be an understatement to say that Erica knows this material inside and out. She comes with the knowledge of having written it, and what was wonderful is she and James Foley worked together on the material, on the script, understanding where the characters were going.
I made it a point to meet with her before I signed on, because to me the most important thing was going to be our personalities and her expectations. So I went over to London to see her, just to hang out. We didn't have big story meetings or anything, but it was just to hang out. And we just got along, just as people. She's got a great sense of humor. And she became this friend to me before we even got on the set. It definitely was different than any film I had made before, except for maybe Glengarry Glen Ross, because Glengarry Glen Ross had a life as a play before it was a movie and won a Pulitzer and stuff. So there was pressure on that to match the original. And it's a similar thing here, that the fan base is so involved and so specific about what they love about the books and different seminal moments that happen throughout the 3 books.
Don't come.
So I was aware, and Erica was there to remind me sometimes about what was really important.
There was one point he said to me, I will always go back to the books, and I just thought, okay. So we had some really interesting discussions.
And once in a while, she would come by the monitor where I was at and just whisper something in my ear, very politely, like, in case you were wondering, what happens in the book is this. And I'd say, okay, and if it made sense to me for the scene, I would accommodate the book. And if I thought, no, this won't work in the movie, I would tell her, and she'd say, okay. And I really loved that about her. She was very respectful of my position and me of hers.
He's gathered an amazing team around him, and it's a pleasure to see him let all of those people get on and do their thing. And he's been so excited to do these films, and I think his excitement comes across, with each take, each thing. He just says, great, or nice, or let's do it again.
Yeah, that was better. Okay.
And because he's so excited, it keeps the rest of the crew excited and to keep going and to get through such a long schedule.
Yeah. You want to swap dollars?